Good evening and welcome to this news edition. Fritz William Michel crosses the final street towards the primature. He is invited to meet the chief executive on September 11th to present his general policy statement. The president of the senatorial institution said that the session was scheduled at midday. According to Mr. Cantave, it is urgent to settle the country with a new government. Citizens of Pétionville did not take off in the face of the scarcity of fuel at the various gas pump stations. Taxi motorcycle drivers, tap-tap drivers, and private cars criticized the bad method used by gasoline dispensers for favoring buyers with yellow stripe, who will sell gasoline to other people at an exorbitant price. These citizens accuse the state authorities, who, according to them, are in a collusion with members of the private sector's business for having entrusted them with the monopoly of the fuel market. They say the problem has disrupted back to school this year. President Jovenel Moïse and the resigning government are responsible for the deterioration of the living conditions of the population, denounced citizens. Therefore, they are demanding the resignation of the head of state and the team of the primature, arguing that they do not have the ability and willingness to improve the situation. At the same time, employees of the Ministry of Social Affairs on Tuesday organized a protest in front of the institution offices on Avenue Charles Sommer, demanding the payment of 18 months of salary that is owed to them. They burned used tires at the main entrance of the MAST. The protesters reproached the resigning minister, Marie-Élise Gelin, for not having kept her promise to pay them since the 26th of August. The managers of the mobile phone company Natcom preceded Tuesday the launch of a new service called Corée Client, which will allow subscribers to receive gifts from the numbers of their laptops. An initiative to mark the 8 years of existence of the company, Natcom intends to set up a series of projects aimed at contributing to the improvement of the living condition of the population, particularly in the field of health and education, said Duwak Kuat. Abroad, Hurricane Dorian killed at least 50 people in the Bahamas. Report from a latest assessment, according to the authorities, the toll of the hurricane that struck the Bahamas on September 1st is expected to increase in the coming days. The balance sheet is getting heavier. According to one last count, Hurricane Dorian killed at least 50 people in the Bahamas. Many people remain missing, report from the police department of the archipelago. This assessment is, however, still provisional. Many houses were sprayed by Dorian's battering. The others often lost their roof or suffered irreparable damage to their structure. The construction will take years. It is estimated that 70,000 people became homeless after the devastating cyclone. The previous death toll was 45. A total of 42 victims were found on Great Abaco Island and 8 on Grand Bahama Island, but the total is expected to rise according to the local authorities. More than a week after being hit by Hurricane Dorian, the northern archipelago of the Bahamas remain a chaos, and the emergency phase is not over. The priority being the evacuated, the victims of the most devastated islands. U.S. President Donald Trump gets rid of his national security advisor, John Bolton. Mr. Trump continues to play with his Twitter account as if it were a machine to eject his staff, including the closest. It's time for John Bolton to jump in the air, in a tweet published on Tuesday. Donald Trump announced as expeditiously as possible that he was firing his national security advisor. President Trump says in another tweet that he will name a successor next week John Bolton is not known to be a tender man, and at the beginning of his tenure, he played an important and an influential role in the Trump government. This 70-year-old lawyer, a staunch supporter of the war in Vietnam in his youth, and of the conflict in Iraq under George W. Bush, has consistently maintained his radical positions vis-à-vis Iran, Russia, and North Korea. That's all the news for now. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to rewatch this news edition, you may do so at Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and radiotelepasific.com. You may also watch it on cable channel 384 for the Nassau, Bahamas Island. And from all of us at Info Pacific, have a good night.